Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to my Hulk guide from Marvel Rivals. Now Hulk is definitely one of those characters where a lot of people think he is not very good or useful in Marvel Rivals. However, I think he's extremely underrated and he can definitely change the course of a game if you do play him well. Now I recently did just hit Diamond solo queuing with Hulk. Now if you have solo queued in this game, you know how frustrating it can be. But by playing someone like Hulk who's very easy and can carry matches if played correctly, I think you guys could also hit Diamond as well. Now the thing with Hulk and how people play him is a lot of people like he is a vanguard and a lot of people will try and play him like a frontline tank. However, he's just not good as a frontline tank. That's not how he should be played. He is very mobile and very good at getting in and out. So with your leap, you can just constantly keep on jumping around. And the way he should be played is basically try and jump into the back line of the enemy team, kill their healers, kill their DPS, and then jump out. Hulk isn't like Doctor Strange or Thor, where you just basically are the front line for your team. If you do play him like that as a frontline tank, you will just get wrecked and not have a good time at all. Now let's just go over some abilities and tips and tricks that not a lot of people actually know about with Hulk on how to utilize some of his abilities. Now when you do spawn in, you will start off as Bruce Banner, and you will have your ability to turn into Hulk straight away. But when you do die, you will go back to Bruce Banner, and you will need to shoot enemies. Well, you don't have to shoot enemies, it is on a timer, and you will slowly be able to turn back into Hulk. But the more enemies you shoot, the faster you'll be able to turn into Hulk, so keep that in mind. You want to get to your backline and you just want to shoot their tanks to get the ability to turn back into Hulk again and be useful. Now, his main attack is the ray gun, and you do have to really lead your shots with this. It does have a very slow travel time, so keep that in mind. Now his second ability is the Gamma Grenade, and this is extremely useful for getting someone off you when they are pressuring you, because as you see there, it does knock them back and it can also knock you back as well. So if you are in a sticky situation or you need to get an enemy off you, you use this to escape. Because when you are Bruce Banner, you are definitely going to get targeted, because that's the only way they can kill you when you are in that state. Now when you turn into the Hulk, your basic attack is just his fist. Now it does have a bit of distance to it, and the AoE of his fist is quite large, so keep that in mind. If there is a few people grouped up, you can actually hit more than one. Look at that there, I'm not even aiming at him and I am hitting the lunar snows there. Now his second ability is called the Gamma Burst, and this is basically just a little AoE rocket that Hulk shoots when he claps his hands. This will come into a little combo that you can do with Hulk. You can't do much of a combo, but basically you just hit them, fire your clap, and then hit them again to do a little bit of a burst damage. This is good for if someone's further away than you and they're fairly weak. Quite a lot of times, a lot of kills they'll start getting away, but you just clap your hands and kill them with your Gamma Burst. Now your next ability is Radioactive Lockdown, and this will actually stun their enemies. So you shoot this, but then once you do hit them, this will then get them out of the stun. So if you want it to last longer, or if you're in a certain situation where, say, their front line is attacking your back line, you can simply stun that front line and not hit them, just avoid them, and this will lock them up for a longer period of time. But once you do hit them, it'll break the stun faster. This is extremely useful for those tricky targets that are getting away, so you just stun them and then you can catch up to them to close that distance. The Hulk's bread and butter, and what makes him so good, is his leap. This is insanely good, and it allows you to close the distance extremely well. It is a bit of a charge, so you do have to hold your jump to charge it up. The thing with his leap though is what you want to be doing with your leap, and not a lot of people don't actually do this, is you want to have your leap charged up at all times. So you want to leap, and basically you can hit them, and while holding jump, your leap will be regenerating, and you can still use all your abilities while you're still holding your jump, so that way when you do need to get out or close the distance, your jump is already charged up and ready to go. Now Hulk's ultimate will give you a ton of health, and his basic attacks will knock the enemies back. So you can kind of juggle them, you can hit them, and you can keep juggling while they're in the air. Now the best thing in Hulk's ultimate is the Gamma Burst, and Not a lot of people actually utilize this as much as they should be, because the actual cooldown on it is a lot quicker and it can go through a ton of enemies and it does a lot more damage. And also his ultimate, it doesn't do a lot of damage, his ultimate, but it's extremely good for locking someone up. So if you do go to your back line, if someone is pushing your back line and you need to lock that target up, you will ult them, but quite a lot of the time you don't even use your ult. It's just for the health bonus and basically for the extra damage. Now, when using your Hulk's ultimate ability, you don't want to just use it as soon as it's ready. You want to leap into the fight, and when you're about to die, you want to use your ultimate, because while you're actually entering into your ultimate, you are immune. So you want to save that as kind of like a get out of jail free card. You use your ultimate when you're about to die, and it's going to give you all this health, and you're safe again. Now, quite a lot of people don't actually know this, but Hulk is extremely good for flying targets. With your leap, if you leap into a flying target, it's actually going to pull them down to the ground and stun them for a short second, allowing you to do a ton of damage. So if you do come across an Iron Man or something like that, don't be afraid to ruin their day by just simply jumping on them, pulling them to the ground, and you're pretty much guaranteed a kill every single time. Now, also your stun can also bring down flying targets. If you hit them with your stun, it'll actually knock them out of the sky, bringing them down to the ground as well. So do keep that in mind. Now I'm going to touch on how to play Hulk. So like I said at the start, you're not a frontline tank. You don't excel very well at being a frontline tank. Look, definitely there will be occasions where you will have to tank for your team, and that's where your shield actually comes in handy quite a lot. You want to simply jump into the enemy team, and once they are focusing you, you use your shield and jump out. So basically what your goal is as Hulk is to kill their DPS and kill their healers. So you want to wait till their front line is kind of targeting your main tank, and you want to jump to the back line and wipe out their healers and their DPS. So you'll jump in, get them to focus you, you will just simply smack them, and then once they start focusing you, you use your shield. If you are about to die, you just simply jump back out to your healers, get healed, and jump back in. Your leap is your most efficient tool because it allows you to just get in and out, in and out. You're not going to put down a ton of damage, but you will kill the squishies quite easy. So do remember that your goal is to kill the squishies and basically get in and out. If you are getting targeted and you're not going to kill the squishy, don't be afraid to just jump out, use your shield, get out, get healed, and then jump back in. You're basically just this giant green annoying thing during the match, and you're just pestering their back line for the entire game. The main combo for Hulk is basically jump in, use your clap, and then hit them. If they do start getting away from you, you use your stun. You kind of save your stun for to close the gap, but other than that, you're just basically smacking constantly. I'm just going to play this game out, and you'll see how I play him. This is actually the match that got me to Diamond. So as you see there, I'm just harassing their backline. I jumped on the Mantis. Now I am just trying to bully the Punisher, and we did manage to get them. This game actually went into overtime. It was a pretty close match the whole way through. I wasn't sure if we were going to win it, but we did end up pulling it through. And you'll see me do a pretty big play that not a lot of people would actually recognize with my shield. So do keep that in mind. Your shield you can actually put on your allies as well, and this makes them immune. So say if Iron Man is about to ult, you can actually shield your whole team, and this will protect them as well. So what I actually did here towards the end, and this they probably would have won the game if I didn't do this. They had a Jeff, and the Jeff ulted, and he was actually about to gobble, his freaking annoying ult where he gobbles you all up and throws you off the map. And just as he was about to do that, I used my shield and shielded my team, and no one got gobbled up because of that. So as you saw there, I did die as Hulk and go into Bruce Banner. So I'm not completely running away, I'm still in this fight, and I'm still just trying to shoot my ray gun constantly to get the Hulk back, and as you see there, I got it back pretty quick. So we're just basically back in this. We got to stay on this cart, otherwise we're going to go into overtime. And right now I am kind of frontlining. And another thing too is like Doctor Strange. Not a lot of Doctor Strange realize, but his shield is ineffective to Hulk because basically you're just punching. It doesn't block your punches, so you can be in his face and you'll just be holding the shield and you're still damaging him constantly. So our Luna did just ult there, and that was pretty clutch by her as well. Everybody kind of played well right here towards the end. Just spamming my abilities, trying to keep my health high. Normally, what I'm trying to do is basically push their backline, but right now we just had to stay on the cart for overtime. And yeah, as you see here, I shielded my team as the Jeff ulted, and it didn't end up getting everyone, so that was pretty huge. And Magneto was then able to kill the Jeff. And right now, so the big thing with Hulk is, and a lot of thing that I see people doing is not actually targeting correctly. They'll just have this tank in their face, and if you can avoid it, you want to be hitting the more critical players like their backline, their healers, their DPS. And don't think at every end of the game that you're going to have the most damage as Hulk, because with you targeting, you're not going to have with you targeting the backline, you're not going to have that much damage compared to a lot of other players, and people might call you out for this, but you're, as Hulk, you're there to make the plays. Just remember that you're not there. Just say if you get 30k damage or you end up with 4k damage, but you were able to make plays, get people killed, allow your team to then get that control on the map, you're doing your job. That's all you're there to do. Now guys, I hope this video helped. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.